What's good, everyone? We're back with the show and go. We're missing a body. He's always in the vet, Mello. Struggling to be a good little pet for him, eh?
I know, what a nightmare. But we've cut the dead weight today, so it's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, one of the best. This is going to go down as one of the all-time show and goes like this one. Like there's iconic Barstool rundowns, and then this is going to be an iconic show and go. I can just feel it. How's your weekend?
Yeah, good, mate. Cruisy. I worked Saturday, worked the Blues game on Saturday, and then had basically all of Sunday off to sit back and do fuck all. So that was good. What about you?
Few beers and watching the fight yesterday with your mate, with Alex.
Yeah. We got around the old Daily Ballers crew. All two of us got around, played a bit of 2K, sassed him. I don't even own 2K. The bloke he does nothing but play 2K, and I walked up cold. Yeah, Doritos in hand and absolutely ran a train on him. So
beauty.
We did that, watched the fights, and pretty much chilled. What'd you get up to?
Yeah, 100. I had a few beers on Saturday night. Went up to the pub with a couple of mates and watched the first game and watched the Para game as well. Good to see Para get up. Gutho kicking it late. Clutch Gutho, man, how good?
Clutch Gutho. It was always going to be him, mate. I could see it as like Dylan Brown almost like looked at him and gave him the old Māori head nod. Like, the first one he fucking hit clean as well, even though he pushed it. He fucking got all of it.
Yeah. Well, it was like, obviously, one of the topics we were going to go through today was the NRL injuries and whatnot. We got like blokes like Mitch Moses going off, two of the Roosters boys going down. Big losses for the Roosters, guys. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, the Roosters are blessed with having so much depth. I mean, Victor's an amazing player, so he's hard to replace. But Matt Butcher will come straight in there, and he's a gun as well. Sam Verrill's obviously a gun, but they've got a pretty decent veteran hooker there as well. So they'll be all right. I don't know. I haven't seen how long Victor's out for. So they'll be sort of sweating on that, getting him back at the back end of the year. But blaming it on the surface. I saw that. It's just rubbish, man. I mean, that's just. I was watching the game, Saturday games with someone who's very in the know when it comes to sports injuries. Yeah. And he basically called it every single time. He's like MCL, ACL, like calf, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, has this got anything to do with the surface? He's like, nah, bro. It's like, that would happen on Brookvale. It would happen on Eden Park. It would happen at, running out in your backyard. It's just angles, man. So, that's rubbish.
No, I thought the same thing. Like when you watch the footage, you can just, it's one of those ones where it's just clearly an ACL or an MCL. Like you can see it give out.
Victor's whole body weight's going this way and he cranks back. Like, it doesn't matter if the grass is this long, or fucking 3 meters long. Like, it's going to go there. So,
By all accounts, Bankwest is a slippery surface, like from what everyone's saying. So it's like hamstrings and whatnot, maybe. Like, I can't remember. I had too many beers in me to see how Moses actually got done.
Moses one was a bit funny. I think Brad Arthur said he did it like retreating into the defensive line, like he was backing up. Yeah. And it just went. So that's just one of those freak things where it's, the surface thing is bullshit. So the poor groundsman out there
I know, like
sprayed.
I said before, like we had one of the groundsmen from Campbelltown come through the DMs and like stick it up, like trying to say, we need a bit of positive media about this. But I think like the average person realizes it's not the ground anyway. And like they came out pretty much straight away that Trent Robinson said that they didn't, like Fox Sports were just talking about that they'd made a complaint straight away.
Yeah.
And then like Trent Robinson comes out and he's like, nah, we actually didn't. So just one of those things that
it might have been an organization thing. Like maybe the organization says we're going to make a complaint and then media gets wind of it, start running it, and Trent Robinson, who's in the football department, goes, no, we're not making a complaint. And there might have just been, a lot of times those two departments don't necessarily talk to each other. They talk to the media first, and especially in Sydney. Yeah. So it could have just been one of those things. But surface is bullshit, bro. I mean, Moses is a huge loss. That's the biggest loss of the weekend, especially for a team flying like Para. I'm not too sure what their halfback stock looks like. I wouldn't have too much clue of their depth. They're lucky in that Gutho is such a natural ball player and playmaker. So Gutho's going to come in and whoever plays halfback, Gutho's going to take a lot of the ball playing responsibilities. Yeah, but it takes out what he does best at the moment, which is that support play and that. So they're going to struggle without him. I saw 6 weeks or something like that.
That's right.
If they can jag fucking 3 wins out of that, they'll probably be pretty happy.
Interesting. What about you said you're at Eden Park for the Blues game, is that right? Did you catch up with Izzy walking around there at all? You see him?
Nah, I got told, I spoke to Dan Hooker's manager the day before and he said that Kai and Izzy were going there. I thought they were going before the game to go rub shoulders with them, but it was a post-match thing. So, I didn't see him. I was long gone by that time. Kickoff done, mate. I'm out of there. But, it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. How good, like, the Blues boys full getting amongst the YKTR sports stuff. Like, Sam Knott loves it. He's in the DMs with us talking shit. He's taken on board the Jordan Simi chat.
I know. Got a lot of time for you boys, eh?
A lot of time, a lot of time. Got a lot of time for you too, Sam Knock, of course, mate.
Yeah,
But
of course.
fuck, it's just a good giggle. And then the two boys in the crowd, you see that, and I reposted it as well.
Oh fuck, that's bro.
How's the chops on those two?
That's the Kiwi Degenerates Club right there, man. That's all of Scope's fans in that one fucking video.
Wow. Well, yeah, Eden Park, mate. The big chat from last week, we wanted to do it. It was about like the news is from Wednesday, but the All Blacks versus the Kangaroos. That was pretty interesting news. Like, I like it from the culture perspective of it. I think it's like it'd be a fucking cool thing to just see. But I can get like both sides of it. Like, obviously the Kangaroos got touched up by Tonga pretty recently, and we should be promoting that sort of footy. And I completely agree with that too. But on the other side of it, it'd be like, fuck, it's like sort of like Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. You don't really want to see it, but you want to see it because
that's
it's
a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cool thing to watch. But I think you'd probably have a similar opinion.
Yeah, I like what you said. Then I haven't heard someone compare it to that, the Floyd Connor thing. Yeah, because it's a little bit in the same. Like the All Blacks should pump him, no matter what they play. The All Blacks should pump him. But you're like, fuck, there's a chance. You know, like the same with the Connor thing. When
exactly
you think
right.
of the Kangaroos, you're like. So I was talking to an All Black on Friday about it. He was like, "Fuck, what are you hearing?" I was like, "Bro, what are you hearing?" Like, I don't know. But he mentioned something like this. This has been floated up before, probably about 3 years ago. Pre-World Cup, it got floated quite seriously, and my understanding was the All Blacks basically said, "Mate, we've got a World Cup to look forward, but we're not focused on that." Now that NZR and the ARL, whatever the fuck the Aussie Rugby League is called, are in a bit of a financial hole, and they need something to get them out of it. This makes a whole lot of fucking sense.
Exactly right.
So, but we'll start business, and then I'll talk on the field. So, business-wise, it makes a lot of sense. It can't be gimmicky though. It can't be like a like a NBA All-Star or Pro Bowl thing where the players aren't really playing that hard. Like, if you're going to play, you better fucking play.
Back to the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor analogy. It needs to be a legit fight.
It's got to be a legit fight. It's got to be a legit contest. We're not going to entertain, like, half-hearted tackles and, like, trick plays and stuff like that. Like, you got to go play. So, on the field, and this is what one of the rugby boys have been saying as well, it's got to be whatever hybrid they decide. I came out and said, why don't they just fucking play sevens? Because that's the closest thing that both teams. Obviously, that is a slight advantage to the rugby boys, but if you take lineouts away, sevens makes a lot of sense. It's one-on-one ruck play, so the league boys have a bit more of a chance, but it can't
because the ruck's a big part of it.
League.
Like a union ruck is completely like to try and learn how to go through a gate properly and all that shit, man. That's hard.
Man, these guys have been doing it since they're 5 years old. Like it's got to be more league. It's basically what myself and some of the players over here have been saying. Like it's got, and the All Blacks like, fuck, we'll play nines. Like just legit play rugby league nines. We'll play it, and that'll be a good contest. If you try and implement some rugby rules like turnovers and stuff like that, I tell you right now, if Sam Cane gets over the ball, there's not the entire Australian forward pack couldn't move him. Like it's a
Imagine
different.
Big Artie coming in cleaning out someone. Like fuck that. You don't want to be on the end of that.
I don't care if David Clemmer winds up from 30 metres. He's not moving Artie off the ball. No. So it's got to be more league. I said sevens, but I really like the idea of them just playing nines. The All Blacks versus Kangaroos at nines, I think makes a shitload of sense. It'd be a cool contest. You'd get and the rugby boys then would have to just ditch the fatties and just pick a whole bunch of flankers and outside backs. It'd be fun. So I reckon go the nines. Why not make a little game of it? Sell out Eden Park, sell out Bank West or something.
Yeah, I reckon they should do it. But then back to like what I said before, like it's also a prime time where they could push the Kangaroos against like those island nations and whatnot. And I think that's a massive opportunity that they still need to capitalize on. They had great traction last year. Back into last year, everyone sort of got around that, especially when Tonga touched up the Kangaroos that game. That was massive. And like the culture of those countries is just incredible. And you want to sort of embrace that as a massive part of rugby league.
I'm with you. I just think if the whole reason they're doing this is for cash, they need cash, and there's no bigger cash cow than the All Blacks. As good as Tonga is and as amazing as Tonga is, if you can't pack out a stadium, which I doubt you'll be able to by the time we're talking about this game, it doesn't make sense to play Tonga. It makes more sense to play the All Blacks. You can market the fuck out of it, this weird hybrid thing. Are we ever going to see it again? Is it going to work? There'll be media from all over the world having a sniff because it's the All Blacks. So if you're the Aussie Rugby League, like you need some cash, you go on the All Blacks.
Yeah. I can't remember who I was talking to. We sort of, it was on the Show and Go when we were chatting about it. Do you think it could be like a cool idea to like let like someone like instead of it being the Kangaroos, it's sort of like the best of NRL squad. So you get blokes like your Sean Johnsons and stuff like that a part of the game?
Yeah. Nah, I think it's an easier market. It's easier to market if it's Kangaroos versus, because it's an Aussie New Zealand thing. Like,
Yeah,
if you
true.
make it an NRL All Stars, I get it. Like, there's no limit to what this can be. I mean, they're making
Yeah,
it up. So if they want to do that, they can fucking do that. But I think it's cool to have because the Kangaroos are, I know they got touched up by Tonga. They're the best rugby league team in the world.
yeah,
That's the best rugby league team in the world. This is the best rugby union team in the world.
yeah,
There's this weird hybrid game. Who's the best? If you do it NRL All Stars, people will say, oh, fuck, the New South Wales side's probably better than that. Like,
yeah. True.
it'll just get a bit murky. So I reckon keep it Kangaroos All Blacks. I hope it happens, man. I'd love to cover it. It'll be fucking fun.
Yeah, it's one of those.
The rugby boys, I tell you right now, the All Blacks boys are salivating, man. They want to get it because there's the old, the old thing. Every baller wants to be a rapper, and every rapper wants to be a baller.
Yeah.
Every All Black wants to be an NRL player. Like they all want it because they all think they can do it.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool just to see them try and get their hands on Tedesco, like try and cover Damien Hook coming out of marker, like.
Even just the bragging rights, it's just like what code. There's always going to be that debate. What's the better code? Like league fans will back league until league fucking all day, and then union fans obviously. Oh no, my internet's dropping. Can you see me? It's saying my connection's unstable. Yeah. So league fans will back league until the cows come home, and then obviously union. You've got that. It's the biggest game in New Zealand. It's quite a big game in Europe, and it's just going to be like
it's a world game. Like rugby is a world game. So like if the All Blacks play, it doesn't matter who they play. You get fans from Japan, from South Africa, from England, from Argentina. Everyone will watch it. So again, we're harping back to the business side of things. If you're Aussie Rugby League, here's your chance to showcase your best, even if it's a weird hybrid game. The AFL and Gaelic football boys don't. Do they still do that or?
Yes, I believe so. I don't follow that too closely, but that's like it's a similar sort of hybrid that they could sort of leverage off to figure out the.
Well, this would be like that on fucking steroids.
Yeah, 100%. What about, we're sort of on the topic, keep going, why not? Eddie Jones wants to be a league coach. Have you heard any of that chat going around?
I heard the Eddie Jones whispers probably about 3 weeks ago, seriously. Like you always hear Eddie Jones whispers, but and then I listened to the Matty Johns podcast, and apparently Matty Johns has been having some conversations with him. I mean, why not, man? There's enough clubs in turmoil out there. Eddie's a proven winner, the other thing with Eddie Jones is he's not just a rugby guy coming over. He's a rugby league diehard. Like,
yes.
I think his old man either played for Souths or was involved with Souths in some capacity. He loves rugby league. He's always, likened to bring rugby league boys into that side, whether it's Carmichael Hunt or anything like that. He loves those type of players. So I know he's a big Ben Teo guy as well. I think they're quite close. So I don't know, man. If Wayne Bennett does decide to hang him up, I know Cronulla's kind of been touted, but South Sydney makes a lot of sense if that's his club of
heritage there and whatnot.
He's got heritage there. Wayne Bennett's old as fucking time. Like, why not?
I thought it was interesting on the Matty Johns when they were talking about like the business perspective of it, and like that's one thing I think I always go back to, like because that's what I enjoy hearing about. Was like the status that Eddie Jones has in Japan, and how it's such like a rugby union dominated city at the moment. It could be a mad opportunity for the NRL to get behind that and put like a showcase game over there and whatnot. I think that could be a cool marketing ploy.
He's half Japanese, isn't he?
I'm not sure of his own heritage, but did he not look after one of the rugby union sides over there? Like they were saying, he had a huge billboard and whatnot. He was the Japanese coach.
He was a Japanese coach when they beat South Africa in that World Cup. Like he's a freak. Like he's like fucking, the Israel Adesanya of Japan. They love him, mate. So I mean, part of that, he'd capture that audience initially. I don't know if they'd stick around. Say he's coaching South, you'd get a fuckload of Japanese fans tuning into that first game, and then I'll tell you what, if you can capture 5% of them, then it's worth it. So look, he's a master motivator, he's a master tactician. I don't think the 15-13 man code thing means a lot to him because he knows professional sport. And to be like, I've heard a lot of things. Trent Robinson's the biggest one. Like at this level in the NRL, you almost aren't coaching, you're almost motivating and strategizing because I mean, you're not teaching these professional guys anything new. Like the junior boys, you got to bring them up, but Eddie Jones can do that. Mel Meninga always talked about, you've done this amazing thing coaching. He goes, mate, I'm coaching Cam Smith, Cooper Cronk, but I'm not coaching them. I'm not teaching them anything. We come up with a game plan. I motivate them. We strategize how to implement it. And Eddie Jones can do that. Like, you don't have to be a rugby league guy to do that. I don't think, anyway. With the right assistants around, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Well, to wrap it up for today, bit of breaking news. Luckily, this Shongo got pushed back. Otherwise, we would have missed it on the 8 o'clock slot. Your boy Cam Newton, man, finally gets picked up. Patriots. I reckon it's a pretty good signing for him. Belichick playing chess, not checkers, eh?
Bruh, 4D chess, man. He's that many moves ahead. I tell you what, if we get a Patriots Tampa Bay Super Bowl, I'm putting cash on it right now as soon as I leave this. That'd be fucking unreal. I said it on the old Barely Ballers potty for all of our hundreds of millions of listeners. Like, it makes so much fucking sense, man. Whether he's never going to be Cam. Like, when people think of Cam, they think of that 2015 MVP running over the linebackers. He's not that guy anymore, but he's still so fucking naturally gifted.
Yeah.
Under the tutelage of that brain, that's Bill Belichick. And like you want to talk about the best systems that were going to fit him. Everyone wanted to see him go to the Chargers because they're running, gun, and high flying.
Yeah.
That would have been sick. Cam's inaccuracy on those medium to deep passes kind of gets him in trouble a lot. The Patriots don't do that. The Patriots are dink and dunk, run, dink and dunk, run, and then they hit a home run when you're at least expecting it. Cam can do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what Cam Newton is. So I think you're going to see them. They'll probably add one or two pieces at wide out, maybe another tight end before the season kicks off. I know they drafted – who the fuck did they draft? Some sort of underrated tight end that people quite like.
Right. Okay.
Wide receiver rather. But Cam's going to have some weapons there. They've got a great O-line, which is all he wants because he just wants to stay upright.
Yeah.
And then imagine, like, Bill Belichick has never had a quarterback that can really move like this. Like, this is a whole, like, you've just given the Swiss Army knife another fucking gadget to flip out at any point. So there'll be designed runs, there'll be play action runs, there'll be play action passes. I think they're going to be a fucking nightmare to deal with.
Yeah.
Amazing signing. Plus, vintage Patriots gear goes that hard, so I just want it as much as I possibly could.
I agree with you there on that one. With is it something, because I can speak from like the design side of it. There was like jersey swaps going around of him in the gear, probably around the time when Tom Brady left, and it's just like the designer's mind. They go, oh, who can fill it up? So people obviously knew that he was a free agent, and it'd be a simple thing for him to move into that position. Is it something that from like the design community, it's been around for a minute, but from an actual like NFL fans perspective, is this like a surprise, or it just sort of made sense? And because it only got broken pretty.
Yeah, it's a surprise, mate. Sorry, it's a surprise. Like when Tom Brady first left and Cam was a free agent, everyone was like, "Holy fuck, they're going to get Cam Newton. It's going to be amazing." The longer it took, the more everyone sort of thought, "Well, look, Bill Belichick, that's not his type of quarterback. He likes the Jared Stidhams, he likes the Tom Brady's, Jimmy G's. He likes his pocket passes.
Yeah.
6'4" white boys who can just deliver it downfield and be accurate. He doesn't want a gunslinging, running, athletic Cam Newton. That's what people thought.
Yeah.
So it kind of lost its legs a little bit. And even when me and Alex talked about it on the Barely Ballers pod, it was more like a, where do you wish Cam would go versus where do you think he'll go? And I was like, I wish he goes to the Patriots. I fucking hope that happens. I think he'll end up going, somewhere else. But to answer your question, it kind of surprised people today but it's been around since Tom Brady left. People have thought that there was a chance, but I tell you what, it makes the NFL that much more fucking interesting, man. I saw he's been working out with Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
People sniffing that OBJ wants to get out of Cleveland. If he asks for a release, the Patriots have a shitload of cash to pick up that contract. You could be getting Odell and Cam under Bill Belichick. Game over, man.
That'd be the grass. Fuck, that's sick. To wrap it up for this week, we all got behind Dan Hooker yesterday. I know we both watched the fight. Fuck, how good of a fight was it? Like, that second round, I was on the Instagram stories and I was like, holy fuck. This thing is insane. And it was so even. Even to a point where it sort of like felt like Hooker lost legs in the last round, which was pretty clear and obvious to everyone. I had it 2-2. So the first 2 to Hooker, second 2 to Poirier, where he sort of stepped up and started inflicting a bit more damage. And his ground game, man, that was grouse. Some of those guillotines that he had him in, and then he almost had him in the armbar as well. But by rounds 3 and 4, you're nice and slippery, and you got plenty of blood on your face that's making shit slippery. That headlock he got out, he sort of just went and sort of pulled out of it, eh? But mate, what a fight! Like, such a shame for Hooker, and like, he's such a good guy, and like, him and whatnot for being around City Kickboxing and whatnot, but I was a bit gutted that he didn't get it, but like, from a UFC fight point of view, that was just fucking amazing, eh?
Yeah, man. And like, on to your point there, like, I don't think he lost any. Well, I know he didn't lose any fans, and I don't actually think this hurts Dan's stocks a whole lot. In a division that's that tightly contested, a loss can sometimes put you to the bottom of the heap. I mean, you'd almost go as far to say it's probably raised his profile.
100%.
So
we look at Gaethje before you keep going. Gaethje comes out, he goes, he deserves a seat at the big boys table.
There you go. So, I mean, Dan's right there, man. I was worried about this fight. I was like, fuck, if he goes out there, it's such an amazing opportunity to fight a former champ and a guy who's ranked 3 like Dustin in his prime. Dustin's in his absolute fucking prime.
100%.
Take the Khabib fight out of it. He's beaten Gaethje, Holloway, fucking Eddie Alvarez, Anthony Pettis. He was on a tear, man. He's beat Holloway twice at 45 and 55.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, Dan, if you win this, you're off to the fucking races. You're talking, it's red panty night sort of shit. You got McGregor right there. But if you lose, you might be at the bottom of the heap. But losing like the way he did in that super tight contest, I was a little bit the other way. I had it 3-1 Poirier going into the fifth there.
Right.
Just because I'm a bit of a jiu-jitsu tragic, like I loved how, even though Dan was taking him down and controlling position, I love the fact that, Poirier was throwing things up, and even when he had the armbar, he transitioned to an omoplata, and if it wasn't so slippery and skint, like, he probably would have cranked that as well. So I thought, and he was throwing short elbows, I thought Poirier was attacking more. So I had it 3-1, but fucking, you could see it 2-2. You could see it 3-1 Dan, like if you wanted to.
There was a guy in the comments that had it 4-1.
Well, you could be convinced. Like it was so razor thin. He did, I don't want to say ran out of gas, because when you're getting hit like that, anyone's going to run out of gas. Poirier just looked like he's been in 5-round fights, and Dan looked like he's new to it. That was it. If that's a 3-round fight, Dan Hooker wins 9 times out of 10.
100%. Well, literally,
he's right there. Yeah, he's right there. He's not going anywhere. I like the Kevin Lee fight in terms of what's next for him. I think Kevin Lee's, he'll like that matchup as well. It'll probably be a 3-rounder. And Kevin Lee's obviously so dangerous inside 3 rounds, so it'll be an amazing fight. I don't like him against Charles Oliveira or Tony stylistically, but he can win either fight. He's that fucking good. So, I mean, there's that many good. Pettis, if he wanted to have a bit of a another name on his record, Anthony Pettis is a good fight and a winnable fight. He's got
stepped to 170 though. Pettis has gone up to 170.
He jumps, bro. He does he's a cowboy in Kevin Lee. He just jumps and goes where the fire
Kevin Lee
is,
tried it as well. He went up and then he's come back down, and Kevin Lee's had a lot personally, like losing his coach, moving across to train with old mate George St. Pierre's coach and whatnot.
So he's Faraz Sahabi. Yeah, he's everywhere. I mean, look, long and short, I thought it was an amazing fight. I thought Dan clearly lost. I thought it was unanimous. I had it unanimous. I thought Poirier beat him, but they fight 10 times. Fuck, I'd watch it 10 times. Like, it was 100%. That good, man. And he's lost no fans. And we got Volk up next, so let's go.
That's only that's less than 2 weeks away, so we can go again and fucking all get behind him.
I think Eugene is either staying in Vegas or going straight to Fight Island, because I think Eugene's going to corner him.
Yeah,
so I'm not
he
too
will.
Sure how that works.
No, so if you go on Ariel Helwani's Instagram, probably I think it was on like Friday, he put it up. He put like exactly how they have to get to Fight Island. So they have to go via 4 ports in the world that'll get them there. And one of them is obviously
it's so cool.
It's sick. So you go there, you get tested as you get into America. Then you have like a 2-day isolation there. Then you get tested again before you get on the plane. You fly over there, you get tested again. And then you go in like a little isolation. Then you get you get tested like 8 times for this thing to work in Saudi Arabia. It's like a mind map chart on that Helwani put out. It's a screenshot from an email from the UFC.
So Eugene's probably just going to jump in halfway through that and just go with Volk.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if Volkanovski's flying over to the States. He'll link up with him there, and then they'll do the thing over together.
Yeah. So. I think the thing with Volk, he always splits his camp. He does like 80% of his camp with his Aussie team.
Yeah.
And then he does his last little 20, or he does that first initial game plan with CKB, goes and trains in Aussie, and then they link back up. And so I don't think it's going to be too different for him. The biggest thing with having Eugene there is like, you look at the first Holloway fight, he won on game plan. Like they won, you don't say he won because of coaching, because he fought, but the game plan was what did the job. So you 100%. You definitely want to have Eugene there for that. So
I agree.
I hope it all works out for him. I think he fucking wins.
It'll be called the Australian Island versus the Hawaiian Island on Fight Island. So it should be a good little gimmick there, you know? How good. All righty, we'll wrap that up. It's been a good little show and go. No Ice, he'll be back soon. We'll figure it all out. We got a drop coming this Wednesday.
No Ice, no worries, man. We don't need him.
Exactly. Stolen hoodie season coming this week, everyone. So keep an eye out for that. Cop yourself something doozy, and we'll see you for the next one.